all things kale chip.
Hey guys, welcome. Take a little journey with me into my garden. I have been growing kale for a really long time. I have some awesome kale here. This is in a raised bed, a twin size box spring mattress. So I've already picked a ton of kale, but I'm definitely going to pick a few more. Now that I have my kale, I'm going to walk up to my house and I'm going to show you what I do with this amazing kale. Okay, so the first thing that we do with our kale is we're going to shuck it. We really don't want these crisp little stems.
They're hard and they can hurt. So I'm going to toss them in my compost.
And I just keep going. So now I've shucked all my kale. The next step in this is putting it all into a salad spinner. So I've put all of my kale in a salad spinner, and then you're gonna plop a bunch of salt on top, put some nice cool water in there, and this is gonna get rid of any bugs or anything that was left behind. I usually pull off, like no lie, 10 caterpillars.
I do put them in my compost container and then I take them back outside.
Sometimes there's some just hiding out or little ones, and they will die with the salt water. I let this sit in the sink in the salad mixer for about a half hour. After it's been sitting in the salad spinner, I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to give a really good spin.
I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to have a ton of water in reserve there. I'm just going to dump that out, and I'm going to give this about 3 spins, because I want my kale to be as dry as possible. Second time around.
Once it's dried, it's still a little wet. It's all good. I'm just going to throw on some salt and oil.
So I'm going to dry this out and put it right back in here.
I'm teaching you how to make kale chips in the air fryer. It's one of my favorite ways to make kale chips. Got it in there. I'm going to take some olive oil. I don't really measure it out, but I am going to massage it and see if it covers my kale enough. Because the kale is still a little wet from the salad spinner and the water, I'm not going to need as much oil, but I want there to be a nice little shine on that kale. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to add a little bit of salt.
You actually don't want to overdo the salt.
The first few times I started making kale chips, I totally did this because kale just crinkles down to nothing. So right now, I have a little less than half of my salad spinner filled with kale, but this is going to come down to one small little batch. This is what I will eat in one night's sitting after dinner or a late night snack.
This is a perfect go-to late night snack.
So after I've thrown some olive oil and sea salt on there, I'm going to grab some nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is full of minerals and vitamins, as well as protein and fiber, and it's very low on calories and carbs.
It's also got a little bit of a cheesy flavor.
Just going to give this a nice toss. Once I'm done with that, I'm grabbing out my air fryer basket. I use the Power Air Fryer XL. I'm going to just cover the bottom of it with kale. I'm going to then place this in the air fryer for approximately 6 minutes on 340 degrees. stay tuned for how this comes out. In the meantime, I'm just going to lick the nutritional yeast off of my fingers. Okay, y'all, so moment of truth. I did a little more than half of that kale because it all wouldn't fit. And I ended up with a nice sized regular bowl of kale chips in the air fryer for about 6 minutes. Not bad.
The only problem is, there was definitely a little guy in there. So I can't tell you how many times I have probably eaten a little bug or two. It is what it is.
Just remember, after eating kale chips, to go floss your teeth.
You end up like me.